Hello and welcome to another episode of Spotlight on India Today YouTube. Before we go to the Sledging Room podcast tomorrow, that is August of 22, we are here to discuss the Asia Cup squad announcement. A lot of us have been waiting for this day. When the press release came that the squad will be announced today with a press conference, which is a surprise in itself, we were quite excited. And after a bit of confusion over whether such certain players were there or not, we got to hear from the chief selector, the newly appointed chief selector Ajit Agarkar, that a 17-man squad for the Asia Cup has been picked. And unlike a lot of other teams, this is not India's preliminary ODI squad. This is just the Asia Cup squad for the continental tournament, which starts on August 30. India begin their campaign on September 2, whereas the date for the provisional ODI World Cup squad announcement is September 5. So within 3 days, we have left a lot to be answered. There are still a lot of questions that needs answers from this squad. Raj, I want to ask you, what are your first reactions of the Asia Cup squad?
Several reactions. I mean, look, first let's just summarize the squad for our viewers. It's obviously Rohit Sharma captaining the side. It's a 17-member squad with Sanju Samson as a travelling standby player, whatever that means. Hardik Pandya is the deputy. Virat Kohli, Shubman Gill, Ishan Kishan, no surprises there. KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer are back in the side after playing a couple of intra-squad matches at the NCA. Tilak Verma has he's received his first ODI call-up on the basis of a couple of good IPL performances, and then he went to the series, the T20 series in the West Indies. Didn't play the first couple of matches. Made a mark apparently with 2 or 3 performances there. Anyway, that's Surya Kumar Yadav. He's retained his place. Among the bowlers, Bumrah and Prasidh Krishna are back. Siraj and Shami, no surprises there. Again, with Shardul Thakur, he, along with Siraj and Kuldeep, he's been among India's most successful ODI bowler. So since the 2019 World Cup, so you would have expected him as well. No Chahal. Kuldeep Yadav, the lone wrist spinner, because the team management believes you can't play 2 wrist spinners together, but you can play Jadeja and Akshar together. I have seen certain clarifications from certain sections of media, certain fans saying that Jadeja and Akshar are similar, but then they can also add heft with the batting. Akshar Patel's heft with the batting in one-day cricket is an average of 18, right? Don't confuse his performances with the bat in Test cricket. That's a different ball game altogether, literally. So it's still a bit of a conundrum, isn't it? You are looking at KL Rahul, by the way, he's also got fresh niggles, which means he's almost a definite non-starter for the Pakistan game on the 2nd of September, likely to play against Nepal. And by the time the Asia Cup is over, well before the Asia Cup is over, actually, after India's first 2 league matches in the Asia Cup, you will have to announce your preliminary World Cup squad. Most leading teams have already named theirs. But Ajit Agarkar, the chief selector, has said it's a no-brainer. The World Cup squad will be based around this. But Akshay, couple of questions. Lingering questions, right? By the way, we had predicted a similar setup on the Sledging Room. In several episodes, we had talked about how KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer will come back because they've been consistently playing those warm-up matches or whatever you want to call them at the NCA. Is it good enough? Is it a good enough launch pad for the World Cup for 2 men coming back from injury? You'd have divided opinions. I don't think so. Ravi Shastri said it wouldn't be wise to play KL Rahul in the Asia Cup straight up. Sanjay Manjrekar said he disagreed. But what is this lineup looking like? We've spoken innumerable times of the number of bowling options you need to factor in different conditions, different kinds of batting lineups. Now, here is what it's going to be like. Rohit and Shubman Gill, your openers. Virat at number 3. You still don't know who your number 4 is. Let's say Shreyas Iyer is your number 4. Let's say KL Rahul is fit enough. Obviously, he'll have enough time to recover from his niggles by the time the World Cup arrives. So you have KL Rahul at number 5. Then it's Hardik Pandya at number 6. Would it be Jadeja at number 7? Then you're looking at Shardul Thakur at number 8. And then you have probably Kuldeep Yadav and then Bumrah and either Siraj or Prasidh or Shami. So it's a little, it's mind-boggling. you're still left with only 6 bowling options there. Now, if you think Tilak Verma acquaints himself well enough with one-day cricket as a 7th bowling option, but we also looked up Tilak Verma's bowling figures in list A cricket and domestic T20 cricket. He hardly bowls. He hardly bowls. He's known to roll his arm over. But yeah, that's your conundrum. You don't have a lot of variety in your bowling apart from your specialists, and like I said, you need 7-8 bowling options. You saw what the 2011 World Cup side did under MS Dhoni. There were so many options for him.
Even the 1983 World Cup.
Exactly. That was a different team altogether, right? So many all-rounders, bowling all-rounders. And Rohit Sharma, I don't know, he hinted that he and Kohli might bowl in the World Cup. Was that a hint or a joke? Now with Rohit Sharma, you never know. But anyway, if he's confident enough of cracking jokes 2 weeks before the Asia Cup, when your side hasn't been performing all that well, great kudos to him. He must have seen something to get that confidence for him to exude that level of confidence. That's good for him. But yes, the questions still remain. And then again, all that talk of Surya Kumar Yadav as your potential number 6, does that go out the window? And also look at the contradictions. The press conference, Akshay, since you asked about the team combination, look at the contradictions in the press conference. First off, Rohit Sharma is so adamant that batters need to be flexible with their positions. Then Ajit Agarkar kind of stepped in to issue a bit of clarification. Then Rohit Sharma again goes back to say that, look, a number 1, an opener can't bat a number 7 or 8. Obviously, he's giving extreme examples there, right? But since Ravi Shastri, Sandeep Patil, on Star Sports just last week, they suggested that either of Virat or Rohit could bat a number 4 if you needed to play Ishan at the top. Because if Ishan plays in that lineup, he has to open along with Shubman Gill. You don't want to tamper with Shubman Gill's position because of the kind of year that he's had. So, yeah, it's bizarre that Rohit Sharma then had to come in and say that, look, hum pagalpanti nahi karte. Isn't that the word he used? And said, no, it's the newcomers, like he's a kind of, it's not schoolboy cricket, and it's almost like the newcomers will have to come in and do that. He said, when we were youngsters, we also moved up and down the batting order. This is the Asia Cup. This is the World Cup. Depends on your perspective, but looking at the press conference, looking at, watching the captain and talk about this team combination, I'm frankly a little nervous.
Raju, we all saw what Ishan Kishan did in Bangladesh last year, right? He scored a double 100, and then he was shifted to the middle order. He couldn't perform. He had a lean patch, and he was kind of out of contention. But he was given the opening spot again, and then he did well in the West Indies, both in the ODIs and the T20s, and he kind of brought himself back into contention. Now if KL Rahul is not going to play against Pakistan, would you ask an Ishan Kishan to bat in the middle order? Or will you ask Virat Kohli to bat at number 4? So where is the flexibility? The flexibility talk doesn't apply to Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, is it? But over the years, it was the seniors who did that. To accommodate a Gautam Gambhir, Sachin Tendulkar had to bat in the middle order. To accommodate Sehwag, Ganguly took that call to bat in the middle order. So these calls have to be taken by the seniors and not the other way around. And we are talking about KL Rahul, Raj. Whether he's fit or not, you bring back a player who has had injury issues. And this is the thigh injury during the IPL is not the first injury that KL Rahul has suffered, and that was not the first time KL Rahul has been on the sidelines for a long time, right? We all remember what he suffered before the Asia Cup T20 last year, and he was slotted back straight into the Asia Cup squad, and he couldn't perform well. That was the talk of the town back then, that KL Rahul was wasting that opening slot. And then we are bringing him back again for the Asia Cup. And look at teams elsewhere, Raj. Look at how New Zealand are handling the injury issues.
New Zealand.
England.
Australia.
England, yes. Yeah. New Zealand have a batter of Kane Williamson's class out. He's on the sidelines. But they are saying that we won't rush him back into the squad. And a Jofra Archer, who was critical to England's winning campaign in 2019, he is touch and go. But they are not adding him into the squad. They are not putting pressure on him. Like Ravi Shastri said in Star Sports, you are also asking a bit too much from the player himself, right? When you're forcing him, when he has picked up a niggle after recovering from an injury, I don't know how well that is going to go.
That's a good point about Tendulkar. He was himself shunted down to number 4 in that 2007 World Cup. Unsuccessful move. Ganguly had to sacrifice. He sacrificed his own batting position up the order. So I don't really understand where Rohit is coming from. By the way, you look at the top order, and the biggest problem in recent times in one-day cricket is Rohit Sharma. His form, I mean, you can always argue he got that 100 and he got a half century against at home. Was that against New Zealand? But again, I mean, what sort of role is he playing? Is he is he an aggressor at the top? Is he going to hit his way and hit the new ball into shreds and then give that kind of start to India? And why not? I mean, Ravi Shastri himself said that he wanted to bat Virat at number 4 in 2019. He said, and MSK agreed. MSK Prasad, who was the then chief selector, said yes. They both had they both had a discussion. So I'm sure they would have also had a discussion with Virat Kohli at some point. I mean, can't be sure, but I'm just trying to, this is my educated guess that they might have had a discussion. Virat Kohli was a legend even back then. I don't understand why the seniors can't be flexible. So after getting carried away with all the talk of batting flexibility, you suddenly want to get ahead of the curve and say that, look, you know what? Only the newcomers will come and be flexible. It's a bit of a tangle here. We'll obviously get into the depths of it on the sledging room on the next episode of the sledging room, which will drop on Wednesday. But I'm just trying to figure out all these factors and these eventualities. I'm afraid we're running out of time, but Yuzvendra Chahal, there is no Yuzvendra Chahal in that lineup. You can't play two wrist spinners. Remember, we've spoken about that on the sledging room as well. You don't be able to play those two wrist spinners because you don't trust your batting lineup.
Exactly.
Now you only have one in the squad. Your spin bowling lineup is wafer thin. You have loaded your side with batters. How many of them are you going to even use? You look at the top 6. Ideally, one among the top 5 has to be a wicket keeper, and the other among the top 6 has to be a bowling all-rounder or a batting all-rounder, whichever way you look at it. Ideally, you would also want a batting all-rounder in the top 5 alongside the wicket keeper. Very, very dicey still. I mean, you look at the best playing 11 and you're only finishing with 6 bowling options, including Hardik and Jadeja. And Shardul Thakur, who's a wicket taker, but he also tends to be expensive in certain patches. Well, then this is like Ajit Agarkar said. I agree with him. That you got to make the best of whatever you have. How and why you haven't been able to build on what you've had for so many years is beyond me. Is beyond a lot of people who are asking the questions that we started asking on the sledging room many months ago. But again, let's just wait. Let's just hope for India to come well in the Asia Cup, and then of course hope that the World Cup comes through as well.
No, Raj. We will discuss this in detail in the sledging room, and I will ask all our viewers to tune into the sledging room. We'll keep bringing you a lot more updates. There is plenty of cricket left in this week, and then there is the World Championships of badminton. Keep watching us. We'll bring you all the updates in the Spotlight episodes. Thank you.